It's now time for the interactive portion of our meeting. The table topics should challenge us and help us to think on our feet without any preparation. Please help me to welcome our table topics master, our very own president, Dane.
All right. Isn't Vanessa doing a great job? All right. Now it is time for my personal favorite portion of the meeting. It's the portion where when I first came to Toastmasters, I was not expecting to speak. And I remember, I forget who it was, but all of a sudden they read a prompt and they said, Dane. And I went, I wasn't really planning on speaking coming to Toastmasters. They said, come on up. And everyone applauded, and it was like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? But I came up, I did what I did, and I felt very rewarded when I walked back to my chair. Thank you, Mr. JP. It's a practice. Still practicing it. A year and a half later. All right, we're going to get on with the rules of table topics. We have the word of the day, which is orderly. You must use the word of the day in your speech. Your speech. Table topics will be 1 to 2 minutes long. Basically, just remember, keep speaking. You can say anything. You can make up stuff until the green light comes on. All right, let's get into it. The theme of today is courage to change. And I thought, wow, there's so many points in life where you need courage, and these things that happen to you really create a whole lot of change in your life. And so I thought of all these different kind of landmarks in your life where you do these things for the first time, and it can really shift for you everything. So first up, to tell us about what it was like when he got his first kiss, Mr. Essa. Woo! Yeah.
I must be getting really old because I am struggling to remember. I would, junior high, because I was obviously, took me a while to probably work up the courage. But yeah, my first instinct is being in junior high, some sort of like roller skating outside derby parking lot situation. And yeah, just kind of going for it. And then I remember, now it's all coming back. And I remember dating this girl briefly later on in high school. We went to Disneyland. And then making out for real.
Disneyland, yeah.
In the haunted house on the car, so we're going to the haunted house. So that's the kiss I would say was probably more for real, even though it happened months before, years before. So, yeah, that's it.
Woo!
Well, I wasn't very orderly with the way that I was thinking about this because, first of all, I wasn't expecting that question. Second of all, my memory is shot. And third of all, I don't know, it's weird going back to those days. So, thank you.
Yeah!
All right, next up we have Shabnam, who's going to tell us about what it was like moving away from her family home for the first time and how it changed her. Give it up for Shabnam.
I have moved from home twice in my life. The first time I moved, I was 3 years old, but that was very different because we had to leave. My mom was becoming prosecuted if we didn't leave because my aunt had already been executed. And this is back in Iran. So then we fled to Sweden. And I lived in Sweden for 20 years. No, sorry. I take that back. I lived in Sweden for 14 years. I was about 16 was 17 when I moved here, and I really, really didn't want to move here. I was in an extremely deep depression, and I was suicidal, and just moving from the circumstances that I was, I didn't want to be anywhere else but where I was familiar to. So coming here to the United States was very tough for me, even though I was with my family, and it took me 2 years before I really could feel the California sun on my skin. And after that, 20 years passed, and things have been amazing. So the transformation perhaps wasn't the easiest one for me, but now it's been pretty darn amazing. Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have NC. He's going to be telling us what it was like driving for the first time. Give it up for NC!
Actually, learning to drive for everyone must be a tough job to do, I guess. Because so many things you have to do orderly in order to move this car. But whoever want to learn how to drive in Iran, oh my God. It's much more difficult because of the traffic jam and not orderly drivers. Because you never expect that while you're driving, somebody without signal is going to come right in front of you. So you have to drive defensively. First time when I started, and I thought that I went to driving school, and I thought that I learned, but before going and getting my license, my father was so proud of me, I guess. He allowed me to start driving with his car without having license. And I was so proud of myself. I wanted to show off how good I am. And he had a Mercedes. And I started, and 5 minutes after, somebody bumped into my car. So first experience was just something which could help me, which could persuade me not to drive forever. But fortunately, it didn't happen, and I was brave enough to do it.
Wow, what a hell of a first driving experience that would be. I can't imagine. All right.
What's the driving?
We now have
Driving page.
Raquel is going to be telling us about the first time that she held her newborn baby. Welcome to Raquel.
It was in 1991. It was in 1990. I have 4, so I lose track of their birthdays and how old they are. So it's my oldest son, Dane Darnell Dixon, and he's 28. And it was 1990. And he was my pride and my joy. I was in labor 37 hours.
Whoa, ouch.
And back then, I didn't have epidural or any of that. So it was, I have to say I'm a strong woman. But once he finally arrived, he had this like banana shaped type of head. So he had to like roll his head. I didn't care because I love my banana head. And the love, the instant love, my life instantly became in an orderly fashion. I grew up pretty good, but I knew then I had to be the mother that he needed me to be. And to this day, all these years later, I'm still so madly in love with my son, with all my children for that matter, but my oldest son is just something about him that just melts my heart. Every time I see him, every time he looks at me, every time he smiles. I'm in love.
Thank you so much. Wow, I have fortunately not had the opportunity to hold a newborn baby of my own, but I look forward to it someday. Thank you for sharing that. All right, next up, we're looking for the experience and how it changed you, and just a reminder to speak until the green light comes on, and to also use the word of the day. Next up, we're going to be hearing from Mr. Larry. And Larry's going to be telling us about how his first time to a Jimmy Buffett concert changed him. Have you been to a Jimmy Buffett concert? Yes!
I've been to Jimmy Buffett concerts. And it's quite amazing when you go to the parking lot aspect of it, because everyone's got their motorhomes set up with, some people actually bring sand, they set up bars, you can have, it's a buffet everywhere, of margaritas, chips and salsa, and the whole deal, right? And the parrot heads, as they call themselves, just dressed very uniquely, and it's quite fun. It's quite warming to see these people have such a good time. It's quite different from going to a Dead show, Grateful Dead. Quite different, and so it was so much fun and just so much joy to be a part of that. It's almost like coming here with a bunch of strangers that just want to have a good time, and then you all pray into the concert hall, orderly they do, and then you get to listen to Jimmy Buffett. And that's, when you hear him on the radio, sometimes they're, there's Jimmy, but when you actually are in that scene, in that environment, it's just euphoric. It's so much fun. And it's such a blast that I went back for another one.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know if those lines are very orderly. I've actually been to two myself. And the line that I was in was not the orderly line, I can tell you that much. Whew. All right, next up we're going to have Ted. Mr. Ted Butler. About the first time he gave a Toastmasters speech. Welcome, Ted.
Thank you, Mr. President, and hello, all of my fellow Toastmasters and guests. The first time I did a Toastmasters speech was in 2002 in Bellevue, Washington. I had been in a brand new career for about 2 years. I had left the fashion industry to get into, of all things, financial planning. There was a direct and orderly course of action for me to take, but that's where I ended up. And it was brought to my attention that being able to speak in front of groups was going to be part of what I was going to be doing, little did I know, for the rest of my life. The Toastmasters group that I belonged to in Bellevue, Washington was quite different than this group here. It was comprised primarily of professionals, predominantly men, and it was more of a verbal jousting match every week than it was an opportunity to learn and grow in the fine art of public speaking. There was a lot of bravado, a lot of ego, and table topics in particular was throwdown time. And it was quite intimidating. I stuttered and I stammered, and I could feel the flush rising in my face. And I sat down and I knew one thing: I'm going to have to practice. And I'm still at it today. Thank you very much.
What a pivotal moment. The first time giving a speech. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you, Bill? Giving a speech for the first time at Toastmasters?
Yeah, what
Okay. Now, we have Natalie. Natalie's going to be telling us about the first time she got a... Have you ever had a full-time job?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Welcome, Natalie!
First job, full-time, doesn't count internships, I believe. That would be, I believe, 2015.
What, and a what?
I'm going to take care of the monster. Keep going.
Yeah, so 2015. It wasn't so orderly in the sense that I got it right after graduating college. It took a little stab at it. There was a couple months where I was going for interviews. The software industry, coming out of college, it can be pretty intimidating, but I did finally land that job. It was great. It was wonderful. There was a lot of people around my age. I learned a lot, and I can say that it was a wonderful experience. It did not last that long, but it was good. That's about all I have to say.
Is there your second time doing topics?
Yeah.
Nice. Nailed it. Okay, and last but not least, we have our very new guest, Eric. Eric's going to be telling us about the first time he left his home country and how it changed him. Please welcome Eric.
So, a quick background about myself. I was born in China and I left for Australia when I was about 10 years old. After that, I stayed there for about 8 years until I came here for 4 years ago for college. First time when I left China, it was definitely not an orderly experience. It was very last minute and it was rushed. I wasn't expecting the move, but my parents decided it was best for me to have a more creative form of education rather than the ones that are offered in China. It was in some ways freeing for me because I didn't have to do 4 hours of homework a night anymore. The classrooms were more social, more conversational, and I think it really helped with developing a more open personality that I have today.
I think it definitely worked because you definitely have an open personality. You just crushed that first day of topics. Nice work.
Yes.
All right, that concludes our table topics portion of the evening. We are going to now vote. Oh, can I actually please get a timer's report?
Sure.
Mr. Scott.
Let's see. As I read each person's name off, I'd ask if they'd wave because we have 8 people to choose from, so it might be a little refresher to remember who is who. So first off, S with 1 minute and 16.
S.
Shabana, 1 minute and 32.
Shabana.
NC with 1 minute and 48.
NC.
Raquel, 1 minute and 42. Also.
Raquel.
Okay. Larry, 1 minute and 22. Ted, 1 minute and 48. Let's see, Natalie, 1 minute even, and Eric, 1 minute and 26.
Thanks.
Perfect. So everybody qualifies.
Did everyone use the word of the day?
Yes, they did.